Right. Now, Kenya is hosting the 6th United Nations Environment Assembly, that is UNEA-6. This is the world's top decision-making body on the environment. It brings together more than 70 ministers and 3,000 delegates. In these sessions of the week-long assembly, which ends tomorrow, a follow-up of the UNEA 5th sessions, resolutions are expected, such as the agreement of a phase-down in the production and use of plastic by at least 75% by 2040. Little progress has been made on this in the host nation here in Kenya, and evidently so as highlighted in this report that is coming. Case in point, a slum at the heart of Kiambu County with about 90% of the tenants, or rather the shacks, put up with polythene paper serving as the roof. This was done by our very own, proudly, William Moige. Have a look.
After 2 years, the top world decision body on environment for the 6th time has convened, this time in the city under the sun, Nairobi, Kenya. 70 ministers and 3,000 delegates from the United Nations member states in attendance. At the 5th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly in 2022, UNEA-5, 175 member states resolved to end plastic pollution, voting to establish a committee to develop a legally binding global treaty on plastic pollution. According to UNEP, between 2021 and 2040, the cumulative cost of managing plastic waste is estimated to be $670 billion, equivalent to 97.485 trillion Kenya shillings.
Plastic fills our waterways, plastic goes into our oceans, we have plastic in our bodies. This impacts our health. So therefore, we need to find the solutions, and the solutions are entirely doable. Among
the UNEP triple planetary crisis mitigation efforts is the reduction in plastic production for the sake of health, the climate and the planet, where currently in Africa the demand is wanting, despite figures indicating only 4% of plastic is recycled on the continent. In Kenya, the demand and recycling of polythene are relatively balanced. 6 years ago, the government banned the importation, manufacture and use of plastic bags, imposing a fine of up to 50 million Kenya shillings. Although the National Environmental Management Agency, NEMA, recorded a decline in commercial use of plastic bags, the usage is still prevalent, posing not only environmental but climate and also health risks.
I welcome the progress being made in the ongoing negotiations for a legally binding global agreement aimed at ending plastic pollution.
In Karashi, Lari constituency, Kiambu County, Marimaini, an informal settlement continues to sprawl. The majority of the dwelling are constructed using polythene papers, which serves as a roof. Under this welcoming weather, it is a good day for filming, at least according to Marimaini residents. Navigating through the muddy and flooded pathways proved to be quite a task. Previously known as Gishagi Kiamaratathi, a Kikuyu name which can be loosely translated to a village made of polythene houses, Marimaini is one of the 3 slums in Kiambu County, about 50 kilometers from Nairobi, truly living up to its former name, with the majority of the shelters built using polythene paper. David Karanja, a father of 3, has called this slum home for a decade now. Karanja is a mechanic mending motorbikes, with earning he describes as meager but enough to provide a meal a day.
Haka nikajifunza hiyo kazi yangu pole pole, nikaijua, mimi hakuna mtu alinifunza. Sasa nikajua, ndio nikaanza kutafutia watoto wangu hapo.
Inside Karanja's 2-roomed shelter, spots of sun rays penetrate through the roof. The roof is constructed using polythene papers. Oblivious, he exposes himself and his family despite the affordability of the structure on his income.
Sasa hapo unaona, hiyo ni miti kwanza nimepigilia hivi. Nikachukua fiti nikapima hivi. Unaona? Nikachukua hiyo karatasi nikawekelea juu. Nikachukulia maganda, karusha juu ya upepo. Hiyo karatasi kutoka hapo mpaka huko chini ni 2,000. Mabati saa hii ukienda kwa duka moja ni 1,000. Si ndio? Na hiyo pesa hakuna na kazi hakuna.
If hope was a person, it will be the people living in this informal settlement. Despite the myriad of challenges they are facing, they live a day at a time, hopeful of a better tomorrow. A few yards away, 67-year-old Jane Mbadha enjoys a newly constructed house with an iron sheet roof. Mbadha is among the fortunate few out of the 341 households in the informal settlement to own a house with a durable roof. The mother of 6 says that previously she lived in a mud house with a weak polythene roof which caved in due to heavy rains. But with the help of self-empowerment group, which she is a member, her house was renovated.
Hiyo nyumba ndio nipata hii msaada ilipujika kutoka juu, ile miti ikaanguka. Kuanguka karatasi ikatumbukia ndani. Sasa maji ilikuwa inanyeza mpaka mimi nakosa pale pa kupikia chakula. Tunakosa pale pa kukaa na watoto yangu. Tulikuwa tunalala hata bila kukula.
However, out of the more than 750 residents in this slum, many are not as fortunate as Jane, leaving them exposed to several risks. For Mzee Jacob Kahira, who moved to this slum in the year 2007 after the post-election violence, his worry now is the possibility of heavy rains damaging his house, which over the years he has slowly improved from mud walls to timber and polythene.
Ingekuwa mimi niko na uwezo wowote, hii nyumba ingekuwa na mabati, kwa sababu hakuna yeyote ambaye anaweza kupenda kuishi kwa karatasi kama hii. A majority of residents here are 2007 post-election violence victims doing odd jobs in farms around the area, with low income being the biggest challenge in improving their living conditions.
Sasa ni kukosa la kufanya. Hata mkikuja pande ile hapa juu hivi, umeona uchafu mwingi, lakini juu una kitu kingine ya kufanya, utafanya nini? Unajifinyiria tu.
Sina mbele na sina nyuma na sina namna. Na ndio mimi nakwambia, ndio mimi nakaa hapa pale ambao kwa ajia ndipo nje yangu, sababu hakuna chochote na hakuna mpango yoyote ambao mimi niko naye.
Unknown to these slum dwellers of Marimaine, they risk exposing themselves not only to environmental impact but also health complications such as cancer, respiratory and skin conditions.
We have forgotten or ignored that when we harm our environment, we harm ourselves.
At UNEA-6, delegates extensively should keep alive the goal to curb plastic use and pollution, with a target of a must cut off plastic production by 75% by the year 2040. Mwege William, TV 47, Nairobi.